Holy 18,000 subscribers? Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate that. Now we're only 2,000 subscribers away from the great 20,000 subscriber special. What is it? Who knows at this point? Let's get started.
ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest from the Bandai movie monster series. Gamera 1965 from Gamera the Giant Monster, and Gyaos from Gamera vs. Gyaos 1967. I said the name right? I got it? Okay. So up first, we're going to be taking a look at Gyaos, or as I so comedically called it, Gyaos, in that one video. I'm sorry, that was cringe. That was my bad. And apparently I even said Jayker wrong. Apparently, I don't friggin' know. I'm not good with names. Alrighty, let's take a look at this tag, and as expected, it is pure cinema. We need more movie posters on the back of tags. Bandai Booby Monster series. Let's get it going. On the front of the tag, we have an image of Gyaos. There's a better look at it. Fucking titty beams! And on the inside of the tag, we have an image of Gyaos and a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe one day Amazon will send me the right size top loaders for these friggin' tags, because this is stupid. So, right up front, Gyaos is sporting a very clean and beautifully painted look on its face. Look at that glazed look in its eye. It's dead on the inside. Which is how every Gyaos I feel should look. Either dead inside, or just a machination of absolute horror with wings. The eyes are clean. The teeth are mostly clean. Some stragglers here and there. Got a nice blood red inside of the mouth and tongue. Very nice. And that's pretty much it when it comes to paint on Gyaos' head. Gyaos' underside over here is going to have a bit more of a fleshy maroon looking color. Kinda wish it just covered the entirety of the underside of Gyaos. Maybe this is accurate, I doubt it, but yeah. Really digging the fade method that they gave the wings over here. Really digging more so how it kind of shifts into a more metallic color as we get closer to the body, and then the body's going to have the metallic shade, and then that's going to carry over into the wing, where it's eventually just going to fade off into the more solid color over here. I can excuse a half-painted underside if they go about doing something like this. This is just cool. But at the same time, it's so cool that I really wish just all of it was fully painted like that. The Gyaos toes are going to be painted. The Duke claws will not. Neither will be this little sail on the tail. And unfortunately, nothing on the back of Gyaos will be painted at all. Yeah, it's a bit of a sore spot for me personally, but at the same time, was there any defining color trade on the back of the original Gyaos suit? Was there, Future Rob? Yes, as far as this X Plus goes, at least. To comment on the half-painted torso thing, that seems to be somewhat of a reoccurring thing with Gyaos, both in terms of figures and suits. So there you go. Regardless if there was or wasn't, we have one more little paint application to look at, and that is going to be at the claws over here. Same as the toes. Hi, kitten caboodle. Gonna get some nice skin wrinklage detail on the legs, thighs, ankles, feet, toes. Nothing on the bottom of the feet, rather blank. Gyaos' goochal area over here is going to be lightly detailed, nothing too crazy, although we do have some wrinkle on the underside of some cheekage over there. Bottom of the tail is going to have the Kadokawa stamp and Bandai China and stuff, with some minimal detailing on the bottom. Basically the same amount of detail that we got on the front of the wings, just minus any kind of paint. Same thing for the back over here. Kind of looks like an Oreo crunch wafer. Anybody remember those? But anyway, the highlight for me personally is going to be the detail on Gyaos' head, as it's all cratery and bumpy and wrinkly and cool looking. Oh wow, there's even going to be some details in there. Nice. Yeah, just overall a very cool and somewhat high looking Gyaos figure from Bandai. I think they did a pretty dang good job, and despite him not being fully painted on either side, I still really have to give it to Bandai here. This whole thing right here with the metallic paint is super cool. Hopefully that is what it is. I mean, look at it. It's shiny over here, but not so much over here. I'm not insane, am I? Basically, I like what was done here. I like the paint. I like the detail. It's clean for the most part, and I'm going to give OG Gyaos over here a solid star in terms of paint and detail. Yeah, articulation time. Alrighty, starting up first, there will be nothing at the head. Yeah, that's a seam, alright, but as we all know, seams don't mean movement. Nothing at the wings, which is just fine, and we will get a full rotation at the legs over here, and that is going to be it. Nothing at the tail. Gyaos' tail get chopped off? Look at that. That's one clean shot, man. Jesus. So Gyaos was a home run hit. What about Gamera? Taking a look at the front, we have an image of Gamera from the 65 film Gamera, the giant monster. It's all black and white, and it looks like he ain't got no pupils there, which is honestly really, really cool. But flip it around, and we get the poster art, and I love that. Look at that man grabbing some trains. You knew what you were doing, but you know what? You ended up doing it better in the long haul. So, on the inside of the tag, we have, wow, that's the same image. All right. Good stuff. He's missing an arm, though. But taking a look at the image, you can't really see his other arm too much, save for the fingers over there, so they likely just cropped that building out. And remember, kids, cool cat loves you. What does that have to do with Gamera? I don't fucking know. So right up front, 65 Gammy Goos over here is, very monotone in color, but I really don't think that's a bad thing. My one suggestion to Bandai, especially for this release, was actually just making this monochrome, black and white, no color on it whatsoever. That would have been really cool, just to get this without any of the paint over here or anything like that. That would have worked so well, but with what we got here, this Gamera figure is so beyond based and amazing, I'm absolutely in love with it. Look at those adorable little puppy dog eyes, gold paint, black pupils, fantastic. Now, it might look like Gamera is unintentionally wall-eyed over here, it might, but when you take a look at the eyeball over here, you can see that the pupil was sculpted in that way, so even if from some angles he's looking a little wall-eyed, at least we know it was intentional. The inside of Gamera's mouth showcases teeth and a very blood red inside of the mouth, which, I mean, yeah, that about checks out, bruh. It works. It absolutely works. Really liking the paint they did on the tusks over here as well. That multicolored looking look to them. A little heavy-handed with some colors, especially right there. But for the most part, and especially from the front, I think that is just fantastic. The only other paint we're going to get on this figure is going to be on his claws, on both sides, of course, and his toes. That is pretty much it. I'll give paint a solid star because everything that is painted is pretty solid, but the real winner here is detail. By the grace of Hitomi Tanaka's bra wire, this thing is massive. Not so much in size, but in everything that was squeezed into this figure. Looks like Hitomi Tanaka's bra. I mean, dude, just look at this arm. Like, fuck me. Gamera from top to bottom is a detailed masterpiece. The skin is all wrinkly and pickle-like. It kind of feels like a dried out pickle. It's pretty cool. From the bottom sides of the hands, to the top sides of the hands and arms, to his friggin' neck and face, to the underside of his jaw and throat, all the way to his soft undershell over here. This figure, in terms of detail, is just Bandai Super Duper Plus Plus. It's just so damn impressive, and getting this figure out of the box for the very first time, I was just kind of besides myself because there is so much going on here. And again, that's going to be present on every single angle, every single inch of this figure. And yeah, I mean, due to the positioning of the arms, it might look like Gamera's trying to play a good old game of patty cake with you and everything. But even from afar, you can see the bumps and the grooves along the arms and the legs and even the tail crotch over here. I know I shouldn't be impressed with Bandai's detail game, since we know we can always trust that, but god damn it, Bandai. Bottom of the feet, Kadokawa 1965, Bandai made in China. From the crotch to the underside of the tail over here, again, there's so much going on and it looks so good. He's got a little dorsal action going on here, and look at this. Look at all of that. Oh my god. I'm gonna gush about this figure's detail, maybe a little bit too much, so maybe I should just cut it off here. I mean, look at the opposite side of the legs, bro. It's just, ugh. There's even going to be a loving amount of detail on the rims of the shell over here. And while yes, that is something we've seen before with other Movie Monster Series Gamera figures, it just hits so ridiculously hard on this guy. Before I even look at the shell, I'm just going to say it right now, a solid star in terms of detail, and if I didn't already say it, solid star in terms of paint. Little paint, yes, but it works for what it's got. Now, this friggin' shell. I couldn't think of anything to complain about, even if I actually really tried, because this is awesome. This is so friggin' awesome. The look is entirely nailed, and the closer you look at this shell, the more you can see some glossy spooge, but you can also see detail as well. On every little bit of this shell, the little segments of it all, there's detail. Detail is living. It is thriving. It is healing. It is here. Oh my god. It just looks so damn good. Like, honestly, I really don't know where to start, which is why I'm kind of just showing all of it at once. And one little detail that I like is that starting from the center row over here, going all the way down, you see where I'm going, that line of shell pieces perfectly lines up with the dorsal, whatever the hell you want to call it, on Gamera's tail, which leads all the way to the tip. If Bandai's getting tired of Godzilla, I hope and pray they never get tired of Gamera, because this is absolute. This figure absolutely has the grounds to be one of my favorite figures of the year. Sorry, camera died, but I stand by what I say. One of my favorite figures of the year right here. I'm calling it. Let's take a look at articulation. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can call it as you see it, but full swivel, full rotation at both of the arms over here. Same with the legs. Thank God. And we'll get a full rotation at the tail over here with, you guessed it, no movement at the head. I love so very much how this figure looks. I really wouldn't mind if this is like the god mold of the Showa Gamera line and they just re-release this with different paint for every other movie or so. It really is just that good. 3 solid stars for both figures. Mwah! Size comparisons. Gamera himself is around the standard size of that of a movie monster series figure. A bit more on the beefy side, which is okay because he is Turtle, let us not forget that. But Gyaos is definitely bigger than expected. More so height-wise than width-wise, I should say. Wasn't expecting Gyaos to be that tall. But good lord, you're either going to have to hang this thing from its tag or turn it sideways on your shelves because Jesus, even Heisei Gyaos can't compete. But likewise, they both look utterly fantastic. I'm so glad this is happening, and hopefully after the Showa era is fully represented in vinyl format, we can get some Gamera the Brave representation, because while I don't love that design, I need it, and I need Zetas. I need him. I need him! What else can I possibly say other than Gamera totally owns the movie monster series at this point? And Lord help me if there's ever a Gamera store, because retro color Gamera figures, special repaints and such, my god, I would be broke in months. Probably even less. Thank you all so much for stopping by and checking this video out. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for getting the channel to 18,000 subscribers. That's nuts. Be sure to check out all my social media linked below, including my Patreon, where for $1 a month you'll get access to videos early, photos, voting polls, whole 9 yards. And when next we meet, the fun continues on as we are going to be unboxing the second boxed set from Enski in their soft feet puppet mascot series with the Godzilla Series 2 box set. I'm very, very excited to get started on this, so see y'all then and there. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace. By the grace of Hitomi Tanaka's